Hi everyone, this is Jeffrey Liu from Singapore. For this video, I'm going to talk about the theory of dot and ring. This is my commercial homepage. All the future new topics will be displayed here. My talks were based on PowerPoint slides. Original talk time is about 2 hours, but for this video, I will reduce to 30 minutes by skipping some of the topics here. I will retain important contents. If you follow through till the end, you will gain additional knowledges and benefit from there. This topic is philosophical in nature. It is boring and yet interesting. The topics are getting more and more interesting along the way till the end. The first topic, introduction. Here I'm going to talk about position of philosophy. In real life, we often experience things that can be classified as either superstitious or scientific, where scientific can be proven and superstitious cannot be proven. Here, between superstitious and scientific, philosophy closes the gap between them and can be proven when timing and situation are absolutely right. I will use Feng Shui as one of the examples. Some say that Feng Shui is superstitious, while others agree that Feng Shui is scientific. Now, philosophy is positioned between them and is trying to close the gap. So philosophy says, if I can see and feel, I believe in Feng Shui. Here I quote one of the Feng Shui practice as example. Putting a mirror in bedroom parallel with the bed can introduce the party. So how this thing can happen? When wife woke up, reflection of her body seen from the mirror can trigger someone in your mind. So having mirror in the bedroom is a very bad Feng Shui practice. If you have, please remove it. Now I'm going to talk about creation of Yin and Yang and dot and ring. The first part is to talk about creation of Yin and Yang. I posted 3 pictures here. By looking at the nature, I can make some observation. What can I see? I can see tall and short, tall building, short building. I can see black and white. Young children got black hair, old people got white hair. What can I hear? If all the cars started to horn, then it will be noisy, else it will be quiet. What can I sense? If the place here has 4 seasons, then I can sense that the weather will be cold during the winter time and the weather will be hot during the summer time. So after making all this observation, the next step I'm going to group them in pairs. Here I group tall, short, black, white, etc. etc. There are many of these. It depends on what you observe. Then I assign short, black, etc. as yin, and the opposite of this, tall, white, as yang. Here are some points to take note. Yin refers to the initial state, the beginning. Yin does not require energy to sustain. Later I will quote 2 examples to explain this. Yin is normalized to extreme state. For example, when I mention black, I don't mean it's 90% black or it's very black. I will just mention black. Yin is qualitative, meaning that there's no value to describe yin. For yang, it refers to the final and opposite state. Energy is constantly required to sustain yang. Yang is also normalized to extreme state, and yang is qualitative. Here are the 2 examples. The first one. An enclosed room is dark, so energy is not required to maintain darkness. Turn on the lights to brighten the room. So electrical energy is continuously needed to light up the bulb so as to brighten the room. So you can see from here, between darkness and brightness. Darkness does not require energy, where brightness requires energy to sustain. Second example, a baby boy just born is small. This is the initial state. the beginning. When grown up, he can be a tall man. This is the final state. Second part, I'm going to talk about creation of dot and ring. First, let us look at the region filled with emptiness, no air, no light, similar to the space in the universe. Suddenly a dot is created. The dot explodes and expands, similar to the universe Big Bang. While the outer layer expands outwards to infinity, that means far, far away, the inner layer contracts inwards to singularity, one point here. During the process, more and more dots fill up the outer layer. So you can see there are more dots than before. Finally, a complete ring is formed. Please note that the ring is not a line, but rather it looks like a line because it is formed by infinite number of dots. Earlier I talked about creation of yin and yang. Just now I talked about creation of dot and ring. By combining the two, I have dot represent yin and ring represent yang, where dot refers to short, black, weak, simple, etc. and ring refers to the opposite of all this. Here comes the theory of dot and ring. In total, there are 14 theories as of now. Among all the theories, theory number 1 is the most important one because it rules the universe. Dot has the ability to absorb ring. Please remember this by heart. It happens in our daily life. Dot can exist without ring. Ring can be nourished or destroyed by dot. Dot is negatively biased, where ring is positively biased. Existence of dot and ring give rise to perfect solution. Among all these theory number 7, dot is negatively biased. I can give some explanation. In real life, we often experience things that are unwanted more than wanted. Sometimes these unwanted things all come at the same time and makes you feel very frustrated. For example, yesterday you sent your car for servicing and today you are supposed to collect it. At the same time, your son just called up and said that he is sick and he wants you to bring him to see doctor. At the same time, your boss just informed you that there's important submission and he expects you to stay overtime today. So these 3 examples that I just quoted may be a bit extreme, but I believe to most of us in real life, we often experience things that are unwanted more than wanted. So for theory number 7, it was derived based on observation. For the rest of the theory, I am using similar approach by observing the nature and try to realize its underlying reason, and when enlightened, I can put them in text to best describe the theory. So after all these theories have been derived, I continue to observe them and I found that they are reasonably accurate. Here comes the application example. I will skip 7 of them and remain the 3. First one, tornado. This is the ground view. This is the sky view. The dot I define as the mouth of the tornado, which is this one where the tornado touches the ground. The ring I refers to the funnel, which is here. It contains moisture, clouds, and wind. From the 14 theory, some of them is applicable to this application. Ring cannot exist without dot. Ring can be destroyed by dot. So recommendation, to destroy the entire tornado, destroy its mouth, which means that if I am able to increase the air pressure at the mouth of the tornado such that it is equal or higher than the upper atmosphere, I believe I can destroy the tornado. Second example, airbag. This picture is more commonly seen by most of us. The ring I refers to the door, the top, the side, which forms the car body. And because it is made of metal, so it is hard and strong. At the instant of collision, airbag is activated. Recommendation: to protect the driver from serious injury during a collision, airbag is activated at the instant of impact, and it must be activated at the right time. Here it involves some technical which I'm not going to explain, but as a whole, when using your car and involved in an accident, at the instant of collision, the hard and strong car body will minimize the deformation so as to protect the driver from external impact. At the same time, activation of airbag has the ability to prevent the driver from getting serious injury from internal impact. So DOT has the ability to absorb ring, which means that the soft airbag has the ability to absorb the hard impact. And existence of DOT and ring give rise to perfect solution, and this is the meaning. Here comes the coronavirus. This is the commonly seen virus cell from the internet. Here I zoom in this part. The dot I refers to the spike protein, which is all this spiky protein. The ring I refers to the envelope protein, which is this one, the whole red ball. From the theory, ring can be destroyed by dot, which means that to bring each coronavirus cell to self-destruct, remove the root of spike protein, which means that medically, if I am able to remove all this spike protein from the envelope protein, I believe I can make the cell to self-destroy. Here I put one important statement: we should avoid destroying the cell. Instead, we should lead the cell to self-destroy. As mentioned, I will skip some of the topic. Anomalous set of dot and ring is one of them. Here got some simple description. Please read yourself. Similarly, for the depth of dot and ring, please read yourself. Here comes the conclusion. Let's do a recap. Initially, I posted 3 pictures from the nature and made some observation. Then I talked about creation of yin and yang based on the observation. Later I talked about creation of dot and ring from nothing to one dot, explosion, dot and ring is formed. Then I combine yin and yang and dot and ring. I have dot represent yin and ring represent yang. Then I come up the 14 theories. Dot has the ability to absorb ring, etc. So these are the observations seen on Earth. How about the observation seen beyond Earth? By looking into the sky, deep and far away, one way is to use Hubble Space Telescope. We can see more than billions of universe objects, galaxy, nebula, black hole, dark matter, planet, star, etc. Among these universe objects, galaxies support one of the theory. Dot has the ability to absorb ring. You can see that the center black hole is continuously attracting and absorbing the neighboring stars and planets. And all these neighboring stars and planets, they got no way to escape. For nebula, although the dot didn't absorb the ring, but nebula support another theory. Ring cannot exist without dot. So you will never see a nebula exist without a dot in the center. Moreover, if the dot disappears, the entire nebula ring also disappears. Nature's happen in the universe matches the theory of dot and ring. So I actually observe the nature and then I come out the theory of dot and ring. So I actually learn from them. For those who are unable to understand the philosophy of this theory, here I give you some clues for you to follow in your daily life. As a person, with your friends, family, and office colleagues, you are strongly encouraged to behave quiet, soft, gentle, humble, low profile. Avoid behaving the opposite of this because it is very bad for human relationship. In a workplace, you are the boss or employer. Do remember to engage the ground because their valuable feedback is helpful to your company. At the country level, national, the leaders are supposed to slow down economic growth, but I doubt they will agree to do this. So all this behavior that I mentioned is not from my personal point of view, but rather they are derived from the power of the dot, which has a weight of infinity, which rules the universe, and by nature it is negatively biased. Here I would like to share the first theory. Dot has the ability to absorb ring. As I mentioned, this is the most important theory. I will use this picture to explain. Initially, Earth is poor at point A. Initially means that few hundred years or few thousand years ago, our Earth is poor at the beginning. So Earth developed by following the path B, and when reaching point C, Earth is rich now. Continue to develop to reach point E, Earth is richer. Continue to develop to reach point G, Earth is richest. During the development, a series of severe damages were created. Thinning of ozone layer and release of carbon dioxide. When the ozone layer is getting thinner, more ultraviolet light from the sun can penetrate through the atmosphere and reach our Earth's surface. Large amount of CO2 in our atmosphere has the ability to trap the heat. So the combined impact of these two is that the result now, Earth temperature has risen. Everyone is talking about climate change, and everyone is affected by extreme weather. Here I continue to elaborate a bit. Initially, Earth is poor. Here, Earth leaves point of origin, develop to become richest. That means you leave the point of origin, follow the development path B, and when come to here, Earth is richest. For this, Earth is now experiencing a universal force from the dot, which attempt to bring the Earth back to poor. The absorbing force is invisible, continuous, and has a strength of infinity. This is the absorbing force. A series of cause and effect are now seen. With man-made climate changes happen everywhere in the world, have forced billions or in fact trillions of dollars to be spent for the repair of damages and economic loss, and this excludes human life. Continue to develop to become richest, our Earth will go back to poor state. It's just a matter of time. This is my end of talks. Hope you enjoy. For those who still can't understand this theory, you may need to repeat watching a few times, or you can get the original soft copy and see the full contents, or you can reserve the slot for the Zoom session with Q&A. Please see the video description. This video is to create awareness that our Earth is reaching a very critical state based on the theory of dot and ring. Every step we move towards development is also a step towards disasters. Every one of us need to look at our climate change in a big picture. Recycling effort is good, but far too small scale compared to damaging of ozone layer and releasing million tons of CO2 daily. Every country should stop aiming economic growth from now. Unwanted large-scale events should stop to reduce waste and damaging to our Earth. Please share this video for total awareness. Goodbye.